Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, let me see what spring is like.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another HTML5 basics video. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about color. Color as in color to text, color to your background. But we're going to specify in text. Before we get into it, let's just recap what we learned in the last lesson. So in the last lesson, we learned about quotations in our title right here of our webpage we made the previous lesson. We learned about using the Q attribute, which makes a certain text inside the Q attribute a quotation. We also learned about the block quote attribute, which cites where certain text has come from. We also learned the abbreviation attribute, which states that this inside the abbreviation attribute is actually an abbreviation for World Health Organization. We also learned how to use address and use breaks in order to break the lines. So each of these texts are on separate lines. We use the cite attribute, which cites the screen, which in fact is a type of work. We also use one of my favorites, the BDO attribute, which in this case, RTL, makes this text go from the right to the left. So let's go ahead and test this website out real quickly. So we can immediately see our quotation, our block quote site, our abbreviation, our address, our site, and our right to left text. So let's just get straight into the video, guys. So first, what I'm going to do is in fact save all of this quickly and make a new file. Let's name it colors.html, important part. And yay, we get an empty canvas. Let's just list that this is in fact a HTML website. And let's just put the HTML attribute here. Let's go ahead and make a head as always. Inside, you can put a title. Let's call it colors. Let's make a body. Great.
So first of all, HTML colors are specified using predefined color names, or RGB, hex, HSL, RGBA, or HSLA values. Or in HTML, a color can be specified by using a color name, such as tomato, orange, darker blue, medium sea green, gray, slate blue, violet, and light gray.
Of course, these aren't the only colors in HTML5. HTML supports over 140 standard color names. Fantastic. And it makes it much easier for us to understand the color part of HTML. So here I have typed a header at the biggest size, a style, of course, remember, a style attribute describes that this, in fact, is a style, a type of style. We see background color, which is a new attribute we should learn, which specifies the background of this H1. And we chose Dodger blue, our previous color. We also have a paragraph with a style, a background color of tomato, which is the red, and of course lorem ipsum text. So let's go ahead and check it out. Fantastic. Look at it here. We see our hello world, which is our H1, and lorem ipsum, our paragraph. Hello world in Dodger blue, and lorem ipsum in tomato. But hold on a minute. What if you want to add a style to, let's say, text only, and not the background of the text, which we defined earlier? We can use the style attribute again, also in a H1. Instead of putting background color, we just add color with tomato after it, or any other 140 colors you can think of, and hello world. We have a paragraph with a color of Dodger blue and some text. We have another paragraph with a color of medium sea green and some other random text. So let's go ahead and test this website right out. Here we have it. Of course, our hello world with our background color, our lorem ipsum. But now we can see that our hello world isn't underlined or, let's say, highlighted in blue, but instead is just red itself. Lorem ipsum is blue, and we see NM, no idea where that text came from, is also just green. Easy. But of course, that's not all of the styles you can do using color in your HTML5 website. We can actually add a border of color. In this instance, we have a style again, an equal sign, and inside a border with 2 pixels wide, and it is solid, not thin, but solid, meaning it is bold. And inside we have hello world. We also have another H1, about 2 pixels as well, but a different color, and another one, exactly similar, but a different color. Let's go ahead and test that out. There you have it. Remember our background colors, our colored text. Now here we have normal text, but it is bordered by different colors. Now of course you can mix and match. You can add hello world, and let's give it a background or a border, you may say, of Dodge blue, for instance. Let's go ahead and just type that out real quickly. So using what we learned, making an H1 and typing here hello world. Let's make it neat. Right. Inside we of course define what we are about to write, which is a style. Inside, using our color attribute, we can say color, and let's just name it from some of these options right here. Let's name it dark olive green. But that's not all. We want to add a border, right? So let's go ahead and just put a space there with this sign,
which lets you put another attribute. And in this case, it's a border. We define it as 2 pixels. And of course, solid. And we choose a color. Let's do it tomato. Great. And let's end it. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and test this out. There you go. Our hello world is in fact in the color of dark olive green, while it is bordered by a tomato border. Extremely easy and extremely fascinating. And it looks great. You can even center your text. So let's go ahead and do that.
Using our previous example of our dark olive green, let's go ahead and press align, text align specifically, and let's choose center. There you have it. Our text is in the center and is bordered by a beautiful tomato border. Very easy and very effective of making a website look as nice as possible. So now, as we come to the end of the video, let's just talk about RGB values. Now in HTML, a color can be specified as an RGB value using this formula. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. Each parameter, red, green, and blue, defines the intensity of the color between 0 and 225. So red can have an intensity from 0 to 225, and also green and blue. For example, RGB 255, 0, 0, so red is the highest intensity, is obviously displayed as red, because red has the highest intensity and the only intensity. To display the color black, all color parameters must be set to 0. To display the white color, all colors must be set to 255.
Fascinating. There's a very cool experiment here where we can experiment on the red, green, and blue parameters. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make green absolutely 0, blue absolutely 0, and red all the way up. And there it is, bright red. We can adjust how dark our red is, very completely black, or set from dark to very light.
If we want to make this blue, we just lift the blue intensity. If we were to make this completely green, we lift the green intensity. And the fun thing about this is you can mix and match colors however you please. You can make purple, some sort of blue, a pink, an orange, a very hot pink, and black, as all parameters are set to 0. Extremely fun and extremely easy.
And this is also very important in HTML because, as I said before, there are only 140 color variations that you can actually choose from that are in worded forms, such as tomato or dark olive green. So knowing RGB or your RGB parameters is an extremely useful tip if you're looking to design your website as professionally as possible.
So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching our video on colors. I hope you enjoyed this HTML5 basics tutorial, and please subscribe and like this video. It means a lot to me. And as always, see you in the next one. Bye.